Hi, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to create basic plots and charts in Python using the popular package Matplotlib. By the end of this video, you will have a solid understanding of how to create basic plots and charts in Python and doing the coding challenge at the end of this video. Let's get started. Before we can start creating plots, we need to import Matplotlib library. Matplotlib is the most popular library for creating plots and charts in Python. Here is how to import it. In this example, we import the pyplot module from the Matplotlib library and give it the alias name plt. Now let's create our first plot. Line plot is a common type of plot that is used to show how a single set of data changes over time. Here is an example of how to create a line plot. In this example, we first create two lists, x and y, that represent the x and y values of our data. Then we use the plot function from the plt object to create a line plot of the data. Finally, we use the show function to display the data. Let's run the code. Now let's customize our line plot. We can change the title, labels, and other properties of the plot. Here is an example of how to customize the plot. Now let's run our customized plot. And as you see, we have the title and x label and y label for our plot. So in this example, we use the title, x label, and y label functions from the plot object to add a title, x-axis label, and y-axis label to the plot respectively. Another common type of plot is a bar chart. A bar chart is used to show how different sets of data compare. Here is an example of how to create a bar chart. Let's say we have a school of 5 grades and the number of students in each grade. In this example, we use the bar function from the plt object to create a bar chart of the data. And we also use the show function to display the chart. And here is the run of the code. Pie charts are a popular way to show the proportion of different categories in a dataset. Here is an example of how to create a pie chart. In this example, we first define two lists, stores and sales, that represent the store names and their sales over a period of time. Then we use the pie function from the plt object to create a pie chart of the data. And we also use the show function to display the chart. And let's run this code. If you want to save the chart as a file, you can simply call the savefig function and pass a file location to it. For example, to save the above pie chart in a file named salespychart.png, we can write plt.savefig with the file name. And we run the code and we see that salespychart.png has been created. Coding challenge. In this coding challenge, we have the sales and profit data for 4 branches of a store. The data is represented as these 3 lists: branches, sales, and profit. We also have number of site visits for the last 14 days. And that site visit is represented by another list like this one. Write a program to show the pie chart of the sales, a bar chart to show the profit per store, and a line chart to show the site visits over the last 2 weeks. Your application should generate charts like this one: a pie chart, a bar chart, and a line chart. Solution. First, I import pyplot from the Matplotlib library and name it as plt. Then I define 4 lists for my data: the list of branches, list of sales for each branch, list of profit for each branch, and the list of site visit for the last 14 days. Then I call the pie function to create a pie chart, given the sales and the branches, and then calling the show to show the pie chart. For the bar chart, I call the bar function and pass the branches as the first argument and profit as the second argument, and then call the show function. And for the last one, to show the site visit with the line chart, I call the plot function. For the first parameter, I simply use the range function to have the range of numbers from 0 to 13. and the second argument is site visit, and then plot.show. Let's run the code and see the output. The first chart is the pie chart with the labels of the branches. The second is the bar chart with profit for each of the branches. And the last one is the line chart that shows the site visit for the 13 days. So we have covered the basics of visualization in Python by creating a line plot, bar chart, and pie chart. It is always recommended to customize your charts and plots to make it more readable and informative. In the next lecture, I'm going to teach you how to create web applications in Python. See you then.